Hi guys, what a crazy time we're living in, oh my word. Today is day 29 of our official lockdown, I think. And yesterday I had so much cabin fever, so I literally had to get out of the house. So I walked to our grocery store and walked all the way back, and did some shopping, grocery shopping of course. And I just had this overwhelming feeling of gratitude. About 2 years ago, I was in so much pain. My body was so inflamed, and my nerves on the left side of my body was so damaged that just to walk in the aisles of a grocery store was extremely excruciating. It was painful and really actually very difficult, because all the nerves were inflamed, and so essentially the muscles had spasmed and contracted around these nerves to kind of try and protect them. And it was really painful to live in a body that's constantly in pain and constantly inflamed and in spasm. And it literally felt like a knife was stabbing me in my back, in my neck, and in my leg every single second of every day. It is the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life, and I do not even wish that onto my worst enemy. It is a horrible feeling, but I've had my fair share of health issues. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis about 6 years ago, and from that point I really honestly just saw my body deteriorate until it got so bad that I was susceptible for literally everything. If someone sneezed, I would be ill for 3 weeks. I think there was a time 1 year where I was literally ill every single month of the year. And if someone would sneeze, I would have the flu, and if I had the flu, it would be a 3-week thing, and I would have to be on multiple rounds of antibiotics, and it was just absolute chaos. And it's frustrating to live with an autoimmune disease or have a body that's so immune compromised, especially in this crazy time. But my story is 100% one of hope. I have healed my body from incredible things, things that medically didn't seem possible to heal in a holistic way. And it's just amazing. If I think of where my body is now and where my body was, I am in absolute awe of the human body and the creation of the human body. It was fearfully and wonderfully made, and our bodies have a natural intelligence to create balance and to heal. And so the most important thing that we can do for our bodies is create an environment in which our immune system can flourish and can take care of healing and repairing our bodies and fighting off all the bad things in our bodies. But we live in a world that's so toxic and so much stress surrounding us that it's very difficult for us to have healthy immune systems. And so I'm going to share a couple of the things that I have used to strengthen my immune system. And now I live in a body that is healthy, that is free of pain, and that just flourishes. And I wouldn't have believed that this could be possible. About 2 years ago, I was living, like I said, in chronic pain, and I remember leaving the hospital. I was in and out of hospital constantly, and I left the hospital after 8 days, and I was pumped with all sorts of cortisone. I was pumped with all sorts of medication, and the doctor gave me a script for all these medications, and I just felt like this couldn't be my life. I refused to accept that I was gonna live in pain for the rest of my life. And I was just like, I need to try something else. Intuitively, I knew that there was another method. I just didn't know what it was. And also, I come from a very analytical background. I used to work in investments. So my mind likes to do research and it likes structure. And now I started to explore a path that isn't as well researched and well known. And that's the holistic path. But I started seeing changes in my body. I started seeing my body slowly heal, small things changing. At a stage in my life, my hair literally fell out in bunches. I remember I didn't even want to comb my hair because bunches was falling out, like bunches of hair were falling out. And I saw my hair started growing back, and I saw my skin clear from all the acne I had. And if you start seeing all these changes, you start realizing there is something to this, and then you explore more and you experiment more and you see more changes in your body. And I'm absolutely just in awe of where I am today. So the 4 things that we really need to strengthen our immune system and essentially be able to fight off viruses and the coronavirus are firstly meditation. So meditation is so important to healing our bodies and to create balance and health in our bodies. The reason for this being that our immune system is our number 1 defense mechanism against our internal invaders in our body. Our fight or flight mode is our number 1 defense mechanism against external factors. And so once we're in immediate threat or we face external factors, our bodies shut down our immune system or our rest and repair mode and goes into fight or flight mode. Now, the immune system operates in this rest or repair mode. And so it operates in this space where it kills all these things that over time could kill us. And when I say over time, over a couple of days or over a couple of months or chronically, essentially, parasites and viruses and bacteria. But our fight or flight mode is created to protect us in this immediate time. And so if you think back in the caveman era, if a lion was to chase us, our fight or flight response would kick in and we would have a massive amount of cortisol and adrenaline pumping through our bodies, and we would be able to run really fast or climb a tree or do something crazy to get away from this lion. And this actually happened to me a couple of years ago. My mom was hijacked in our house as she was driving into the house, and I heard a gunshot and I got so scared. I literally ran out of the house and jumped over a 3-meter high wall. If I look at that wall today, I tell you, I cannot believe that I was able to do that. It seems physically impossible. But I had so much adrenaline and cortisone running in my body that I just jumped over it. And that's just amazing how our bodies have that mechanism. But the problem becomes when we live in that space, our body shuts down all the other non-essential organs, all the other non-essential systems. And so our body's immune system is essentially operating at a lower capacity. And most of us are constantly operating in fight or flight mode because we have so much stress factors in our environment. Some people are working 14 to 16 hours a day, which is where I was once in my life. Some people are constantly faced with deadlines and having to meet certain things, growing businesses, having to do everything from working, taking care of families. There's so much pressure, and on top of that, we are constantly being bombarded by the media and news sources out there about all the things that can go wrong in your body and in the environment, and feeding us negative information, feeding our subconscious constantly with negative thoughts and feelings. And so our bodies are automatically on high alert, thinking, oh, what's going to happen, and so it slowly switches off this immune function and all the other non-essential organs, and is on high alert, waiting for this lion, essentially waiting for corona or waiting for the next deadline or whatever stress factor there is. And so to be able to get out of this mode, we need to clear our minds. We need to calm our nervous system. And meditation is the number 1 thing we can do for that. Meditation allows us just to create space in our mind. We're so bombarded with news information and information from family and friends that we honestly, our brains get a bit like, doesn't know what to take and what to leave. And once we calm our nervous systems, our brain can go and say, okay, this information is what I need to heal my body. This information is what I need to calm my nerves. This information is what is healing for me. Or this information just makes me stress. In this moment, it doesn't serve me. Let me put that aside. Let me not necessarily go into that and work myself up about it. But it is really important because it's a lot to do with like chemical reactions in our brain and all of that. So it really is important for all of us to just take 5 or 10 or 15 minutes a day and clear out the space in our brains. And then hand in hand with that goes breath work. So breath work I mean, you get all different sorts of breath work, and some are more healing than others. But just taking deep, deep breaths in every day, and connecting with yourself and allowing your body to calm down is so helpful for the immune system. So if you think about it, if you have to run away from a lion, or if you're feeling stressed, your breath is very shallow. So it is important that we calm our nervous system, take in deep breaths, and then those deep breaths allows our cells and our immune system to get the oxygen and energy it needs to fight off all these bacteria and viruses, and essentially allow the cells to rest and repair. So breathwork and meditation is important to do that as a daily practice. It is something that, it's not a magic wand. It's not going to make you feel better in the first day, but it is something the more you do, the better you get at it, and essentially the better you feel and the better your immune system functions. So daily practice, meditation, and breathwork. Of course, the other two things are nutrition and exercise. Nutrition is an interesting subject because lots of people, lots of theories, lots of information out there. I really want to encourage you to become the experiment. Don't just take resources and research information. A lot of that research does not necessarily affect you. You have to figure out what your body needs to heal. The one thing I can say is that my body only started healing once I reduced my animal product intake and I increased the amount of fruit I was eating, fruit and vegetables. At one stage, I was literally eating like 9 cups of vegetables every day, and I was eating a similar amount of fruit, and that is really when I saw my body heal. So if you want to heal your body from chronic disease, hormonal imbalance, from nerve pain or chronic pain, it is important that you lower the inflammation in your body. And so to lower the inflammation, we have to create alkaline bodies. And the only stuff that really are alkaline is fresh fruit and vegetables. All processed food, all alcohol, all animal products are acidic. And so inflammation only flourishes in an acidic body, and disease only lives in an acidic body. So when you're trying to heal your body, it is very, very important that you only consume alkaline foods. And when you're trying to just protect yourself from viruses, it's also important that you limit the intake of processed food and foods that are very acidic by nature. And that includes like dairy and meat and gluten and any processed, even gluten-free processed food. Anything with sugar in it, processed sugar. Fruit is fine and it's amazing and very healing for the body. Contrary to popular belief, it is amazing, and I've literally seen my body and my health and my energy levels improve the moment I started introducing a lot of fruit into my diet. So try that, but figure out, give yourself a month or 2 months and try different diets. I tried probably every single diet under the sun because I was so desperate to try and heal my body. And I know from my own experience that this is the diet that works for me and that makes my body feel good. And then the fourth thing, of course, is, common knowledge, exercise, yes. But the one thing I should say, and it's very important that, especially if you're struggling with an autoimmune disease, that you do not over-exercise. The moment we push our heart rates too high, we automatically go back into fight or flight mode. And that's not where we want to be when we want to heal our immune systems or strengthen our immune systems. We want to be in rest and repair mode. So exercise like gentle yoga, light brisk walking, light hiking, stretching, swimming even, wonderful for the body, wonderful. But try and stay away from high intensity workouts, at least in the immediate future, while we're trying all to nourish our immune systems. And it's of course very important to do all these other social distancing and self-isolating and all of that. But it is important that we create healthy immune systems so that we can start creating antibodies and that we can start fighting these viruses and that we can start living in vibrant, healthy bodies. I think one of the reasons that we are all so afraid of this disease is because we know that our bodies at this stage are fairly immune compromised. In general, people, even if you're not yet suffering from an autoimmune disease, people are not necessarily immune strong. And so start introducing these 4 things like meditation, breath work, healthy eating, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, and light exercising to get the lymphatic system moving, get the toxins out of your body, and just keep your body going. And you'll see in a couple of weeks' time your health improving, you start feeling less fatigued and all those things. So try it out: breathwork, meditation, nutrition, and exercise. Please subscribe to my channel if you're interested in learning more about my healing journey, how I've healed my body, and how you can heal your body from chronic disease. I think actually a lot of chronic diseases are curable, and we have the ability to heal from them. We just have to create that environment. So yes, subscribe to my channel and stay healthy.